Howdy, indie developers and creative makers. Thank you for supporting this channel. I'm Rangomi, Grand Poobah of Game Design, and this is about design patterns. If you have any role in design or creative studio work, you will find that design patterns are reusable tools or best practices that you can collect to help you solve tough problems. Design patterns are useful in any creative industry or occupation. There are 3 popular books about design patterns for architecture, software engineering, and game design. Max Jacobson, one of the authors of A Pattern Language, was my wife's architectural instructor in college. Software engineering design patterns can include singletons, an object that only has one instance but multiple references. I teach a number of game design patterns, including many of these patterns this video covers. I've used all 3 of these books in my work. I actually use the head-first methodology to convey hard ideas visually to my design documents. Head-first is a design pattern for teaching design patterns. All of the sample design patterns I'm going to show you are simple and easy to use for multiple creative purposes. Coming from a manuscript by Sun Tzu in the 6th century BC as a treatise on military arts, the art of war is a triangle-balanced logic system that is widely used to solve business and technical design problems. Strategy oversees everything. Tactics determine the actions at the heat of the moment, and logistics is used to facilitate and provide resources for the tacticians. While learning software engineering, you can also learn about object-oriented systems. It is a way to group types of data and the functional code that works with it. You can think about your problems as the nouns or objects of your systems, and the verbs or actions as the way you interact with those objects. It's easier to create good systems when you simplify them this way. Top-down and bottom-up is a phrase used many times to describe all kinds of work. For example, say you have an idea for a new product or service. You're high level. You'll need some help. You make a list. You drill down to specific job descriptions and post those on a new startup idea on AngelCo. Then going back up, you realize that you need a domain name and a web host and a website, which leads to a logo and a brand and a marketing plan. This up and down pattern will have lots of iteration as you hone your way towards working solutions. I've already mentioned the golden circle in my previous video, but it is a design pattern as well. Conventional thinking involves solving problems by asking what first, where innovative thinking solves problems by asking why first. There are many design patterns for storytelling. 3-act structure, 9-act structure, hero's journey, and Harman's story circle are all terrific. Used wisely in Asia is a pattern that the Japanese call Kishotenketsu, a 4-part pattern that allows for humor and novelty in stories, something very important to me. It starts with the introduction, ki, then the development, sho, then the twist, ten, and finally the conclusion, ketsu. It is how a pattern is used in every single Mario video game level design. Introduce the level, develop new skills or powers, present a twist, and provide an epic conclusion. It is now also used in films, manga, anime, music, and even more parts of their creative culture. It can take a while to wrap your head around, especially if it isn't part of your own creative process, but it is well worth learning. The next 3 design patterns are similar, yet show how they can evolve to solve different creative problems. It is widely held that our left brain is analytical and our right brain is creative. A common drawing trick is to invert your drawing to analyze what can be improved. It allows your brain to perceive it differently. Iterate between creative and analytic work to improve this process and get better at both. Very similar to left and right brain, Lean is both a startup and project management methodology. It is also a design pattern. Start with ideas, build them into products, Measure or test their success by collecting data, which you then use to learn which generates new ideas. The goal of a startup is to find a pattern that generates income. When used by designers, it allows both creative and analytical methods to drive iteration. An important lesson of Lean is to fail fast. Find the shortest possible way to move from ideas to products and learn from each iteration. Kaizen is a Japanese word for continuous improvement. It literally means change for good. I've practiced Kaizen in my own life and in all my professional work since 1998. It is useful in life skills, craftsmanship, artwork, and industrial process. In Japan, most manufacturing use Kaizen to keep their factories productive with minimum problems. A common thread in many design patterns is a cycle of iteration, improvement by doing, failing, and learning. Thomas Edison once said about making a light bulb, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." In my SMAFDev video, I described that design pattern as having phases for prototyping to find the fun and production to polish the juice. Juice, pizzazz, polish, and needs more cowbell are all ways to amplify the emotional impact and engagement of any creative work. Pizzazz literally means an attractive combination of vitality and glamour. It is the emotional content of your work. It is just as important as the why, the finding the fun, and any other step in your creative work. But remember, you can't make something bad better with pizzazz. The old saying goes, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. Thanks for watching. Join the Discord server. See the link below. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell if you're watching this on YouTube to see more of my videos.